Hey there, welcome back to Jim and Ty Homestead. Today we're doing one of my favorite things to do out of my garden. I'm making jalapeno pepper jam. And this stuff is wonderful. It's got just the right amount of heat on it. It goes great on a cracker with a little bit of cream cheese or crostini. It goes awesome on beef and lamb. So come on back and join me. Let's make this stuff. So here's everything you're going to need. I got roughly 2 pounds of green peppers and jalapenos, and I split it right down the middle. I think a lot of people use a little bit more green pepper than they do jalapenos, but I like the jalapeno flavor a little bit more. So what I did is I rough chopped the green peppers, then on the jalapeno, just split them in half, and then took a spoon and took the veins and the seeds out. If you're familiar with jalapenos, the veins and the seeds is where all the heat holds. And then as a little bonus, this is just personal preference of mine, I chopped up, this is 2 jalapenos without veins and seeds, and this is 2 with veins and seeds, and I'll add those in on the tail end. That's just a little bit, I like to give it a little bit of added kick. 6 cups of sugar, a teaspoon of kosher salt, juice from 2 lemons, a cup and a quarter of apple cider vinegar, and 3 ounces pectin. And then over here, I got me some jars going. I'll be using the Dutch oven to cook the jam. I got me some jars going in the oven. I got these set on 275, and I'll let those heat up. So the first thing I want to do is take this pepper mixture and put it in the food processor, and make a nice little pulpy puree out of it. Got what I'm looking for. I'm gonna call this good. I pulsed it quite a bit and scraped the sides down some. I still got some live chunks in there, it looks like, but that's okay with me. You see it's nice and juicy and pulpy now. So that gets added into the Dutch oven along with all of our other ingredients, except for the pectin. Alright, we'll have to put this camera down to get it in here. So I got the jalapenos in there. I got the vinegar in there. And I'm slowly stirring in the sugar. I can't get the camera angle at all. I don't know how they do these cooking shows on TV. And I'll actually show you what they're doing. I guess they got all kinds of cameras going on. As soon as I get this mixed up here, I'll pick the camera up here and see what it looks like. I'm just stirring it as I add sugar a little bit at a time. I don't want it all to clump up on me. There's a little bit of jalapeno in there. I mentioned a few minutes ago the freshly squeezed lemon juice from 2 lemons. If you raise cooney coons like we do, don't throw those lemons away because they love those things. So I tossed them in the cooney coon produce bucket. And We'll probably get that for breakfast in the morning. So there's the lemon juice. Kosher salt. Now it's going to bring this to a boil. And it's already popping out there. This is going to work quicker than I thought. Here's what it looks like. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to reduce the heat and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. This is a beautiful green color. The last recipe that I used to use years ago, I had to add food coloring to it to make it green, just because that's my personal preference. But I don't think that's going to be necessary here. This is an absolutely beautiful green color. Can't wait for this. I'm really fighting this from boiling over. It looks like I got her under control now. I got the heat reduced down to low. I'm just letting this simmer now. It already came to boil. We'll let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Looks like I got it under control now. Man, I'm scared. I was afraid I was going to get sugar all over the countertop. Alright, I just now added the rest of my chopped up jalapenos, and I'll keep stirring that up just a little bit. Keep an eye on the temperature. I don't want it to get over 220, because after 220 the sugar is going to turn into candy, and we definitely do not want that. I made this years ago, and left it on the heat the whole time I was putting it in jars, and the first couple jars turned out great, and the rest of them were jalapeno hard candy. And I mean, it was so hard I had to throw the jars away. We couldn't even get it out of the jars. I'm trying to not do that this time. You act like I knew what I was talking about on that 220 degrees, but it's just something that I read. Maple sugaring this past winter, that helped out with that process, helped me understand it a little better. Something to dry this off with. Yeah, if you do the maple sugar in it, which hopefully we'll get to take a look at next winter, it's precise. 1 degree the wrong direction on maple syrup is all the difference in the world and that stuff. So I'm watching close. I've got about 40 seconds left on my timer, and I'm around the 218 mark right now. But I don't want it to go too far. So I'm gonna follow the timer. And when the timer hits 0, turn the heat up, get it to a hard rolling boil, add the pectin, and then go for 1 minute. Alright, timer's getting ready to go off, so let's get the heat up, get this thing rolling hard. I'll add my pectin. And goes the pectin. Pectin a little stir, get it all incorporated in there. Put that out of my way. I got a nice hard bowl going here. See if I can't switch the camera over here in a second to show that. Without bowling it over. Definitely don't want sugar all over this countertop. Let's see if we can get this thing going that way. Yeah, there it is. Alright, let's So I'm gonna put the camera back over here. Check on my grill. So time at 1 minute. Well, I'm at 218 and a half. 1 minute's up. I'm gonna go a little bit longer. Hopefully not making a mistake here. Alright, I'm gonna take it off the heat. Get it off the heat and stop the sugar cooking process. Let's get it off. And then now we put it in the jars. Looks like I have a lot more here than I thought I was going to. I'm not sure how to put them in jars. Try and get the camera set up where I can see this. I'm gonna fill out the rest of these jars. We'll be right back. Well, there they are. I gotta say, I'm not convinced. It just doesn't quite look right. And I think perhaps I didn't get that pectin rolling boil long enough or hot enough maybe. But we'll see. So there's what little smidge was left over, and I'll let it cool and I'll stick it in the refrigerator in the morning and we'll try it and see. So I either made jalapeno jam or I made jalapeno pancake syrup, which doesn't sound real good, but we'll see. Okay, this is the moment of truth. We're going to check out this pepper jelly that we made just a little bit ago. But first, let's look at something else. This one is banana pepper jelly, and we didn't show this on the video, but I made this right after the pepper jelly, and let's take a look at it. Look at that there. Yeah, now I got it in the camera. So this is banana pepper jelly. This take 1 Granny Smith apple, 5 cups of sugar, and 8 banana peppers. And I got a variety of peppers, and you can probably see in there. I got some yellow ones, some orangey ones, and some red ones, and you can see all the different colors in there. So let's give this a try. Wow. This has got a lot of stuff going on here. You get the sour from the green apple, and obviously sweet from all the sugar, and then got a little bit of heat on the back end from those banana peppers. My wife and I ate this on biscuits yesterday. I would say on a breakfast toast or something, or on a bagel. And I'm not sure it's a peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, the reason I did this because we got banana peppers going like crazy, and my wife said, what are we gonna do with them all? So I got on Google and looked up things to do with banana peppers, and this was the very first thing that came up. So, much like the jalapeno jelly, this had 2 1/4 cups of vinegar in it, and I pulsed the peppers and the green apple in the food processor, mixed them with half of the vinegar, and brought it to a boil. And once that was boiling, I boiled it for a few minutes, and then I added the sugar and the rest of the vinegar, and then I cooked it to 220 degrees. At 219, I added the 3 ounces of pectin, and then cooked it to 220 degrees after that. That's, you can see it looks a lot more jelly-like than what we had on the pepper jelly. And so that's that. So let's take a look at this pepper jelly now. If you remember, I was a little bit worried. Okay, I didn't quite cook it to 220 degrees. I was worried I was going to overcook it, and I didn't want to end up making jalapeno candy like I did last time. So this is, you can see it's awfully loose in there, but after it sat overnight, you notice it's moving as a unit. So I'm thinking maybe this is okay. Maybe we're going to be all right. This is the jar we put in the refrigerator when we finished up. Let it cool on the counter, and then I stuck it in the refrigerator overnight. And as you can see there, It's still been a little bit loose for jelly, but it is all together and it is gelled. And let's give it a try and see what's going to do. All right. So it's not sticking to the spoon much. A little bit is there. And as I say that, it's going to rest up, it's going to come off. But I think we're still okay. It's a lot looser than I want it to be. And I think the reason for that is that I was afraid I was going to overcook it. And I took it off too early and I didn't quite get it to that 220 degree mark. And that's where it's got to be. If you want to make jelly, it's got to be 220 degrees. And I think this would be a lot like this other pepper jelly that we looked at. But it's all about flavor, right? So let's see what it tastes like. What I've got here, I've already prepped Triscuit with a little bit of cream cheese on it. Perfect vehicle for this stuff. You can also eat it on lamb or prime rib or ribs or whatever you want. And it's a nice compliment to that stuff. So I'm going to put a little dab of this right here on this cream cheese. And you see there, that's cream cheese is to balance out the heat. Yeah, really good flavor. It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be hotter. I could have probably gone with another chopped up pepper with seeds in it, I think. It's got really good flavor. Cream cheese balances it out. And the jalapeno just gives you a little bit of punch there on the end. You know, jalapeno has that specific jalapeno flavor. And it's not too hot, it's not too cool. Okay. So the taste test went good. It tastes really well. I wish I'd gotten it cooked a little bit longer and got it not so loose. But that's what we ended up with, and that's better than a bunch of jars full of hard rock candy that I had to throw away that I did last time I made this. I may try this again, and I will make certain that I get to that 220 and make it look more like this. So that's the jalapeno jelly, and it's one of my favorite things to do here. And last time I made it, I made rock candy out of it instead of jelly, and this time it's a little bit too loose, so maybe third time's a charm, and I'll give it another try. Yep. I could probably sit here and eat that whole jar right now, and that's probably what I'm getting ready to do here in a minute. So I would like to give a shout out to my mom. Never in my 48 years would she ever imagine that I'd be on YouTube cooking. She taught me everything I know in the kitchen, and she is not feeling well right now. She's in the hospital, and lots of prayers and thoughts for her to get well soon and get home. And this episode is dedicated to her. Hi, Mom. Hope you get well soon, and can't wait to see you again. All right, that is this episode of Hematite Homestead. Be sure you hit that subscribe button, and I got big plans for this jalapeno jelly. I'm working up a recipe in my head that when I get it all figured out and get all the components hashed out, we'll do that right here in the homestead kitchen. And I can't wait to see you next time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow all the cool stuff that happens here on the Hematite Homestead. Thanks for watching.